Before we begin, like and subscribe, it would really help our channel. Am I the asshole for excluding my niece from my son's birthday party after she ruined his first party? Last week, I hosted my son James' 9th birthday party at my parents' house. I paid for and organized the whole event. We just had to use my parents' place because our house was being renovated. My parents had agreed and said they had no problems. I had invited James' closest friends from school and football club for the party. And 2 of his cousins from his dad's side that he's very close with. James had made it clear he wanted a friends-only party and I was okay with it. However, the day before, my sister Linda called me angry that her daughter Ava was not invited. I tried to explain that it wasn't a party for family members. Also, James wasn't very close to Ava. She is a bit spoiled and always picks fight with James wherever they are made to play together. Linda didn't want to listen and cried that Ava was having a hard time making friends in school and it didn't help if her own cousin was excluding her. I felt sorry, but I didn't relent and Linda cut the call. She then called Mom and they tried to convince James behind my back. He also said no and told me. My parents apologized and I thought that was it. Fast forward on the party date, I have everything arranged and the party is going well. Halfway through it, Linda arrives with Ava and my parents say they'll end the party early if I don't let Ava join. I reluctantly did. James was upset but I told him to ignore her and enjoy time with his friends. Ava tried joining the games but would get upset and scream if she lost and Linda would make the kids restart. Obviously, the kids lost interest and stopped playing and it upset James. They tried playing football but since Ava couldn't play, she constantly interrupted them. They went to the living room to play Xbox, Ava failed a few rounds and got angry and left. Nothing worked for her and James didn't care. After a few hours, I took the kids to cut the cake only to find Ava had thrown it to the floor and was crying at the table because everyone was mean to her. This was the final straw and James started screaming at her. He called her a loser and evil and started crying because his party was ruined. Linda was upset and asked James to apologize. I stepped in and told Linda to take Ava and get out. My parents stepped in and told me James was out of line and Ava was just a kid. I was so angry then that I just ended the party altogether and told Linda her daughter has no friends because she's a brat. I called my husband and we took all the kids to McDonald's and got a different cake for James to cut there. I took pictures and posted them to FB as well. Since then, I've received calls and texts from Linda calling me a bitch and asshole for excluding Ava and has been demanding James apologize. My parents have berated me as well and are angry because James now refuses to speak to them. I'm not sure if James should apologize and I don't want to either. We did nothing wrong and I won't tolerate anyone ringing my son's birthday. But perhaps I shouldn't have insulted Ava. So am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for dropping off my step-kids with my in-laws, and saying that they are not my problem anymore? My wife passed away just before last Thanksgiving. It came out of nowhere and I am somewhat broken. To make it worse, my step-kids have decided that since I'm not their father they don't have to obey me anymore. They are teens and they have never been my biggest fans. They love their dad and I was only ever their mom's husband. However, when Dina was alive they treated our home well and me with respect. After she died they became assholes. Yes, I know their mom died. It sucks. But that was my wife and the mother of my children. I am also having tough time dealing. Their paternal grandparents are also shitting on me for not being more understanding of all they are going through. I have tried. I have offered them counseling. I have given them space. I have been there for them. I am at my wit's end. The last straw was when we were over there for supper last week. I said it was time to go so I could get the Litlies to bed. My step-kids said that they didn't want to go and that I should leave them and come back for them. It is a 2-hour drive. I said no. Their grandparents said I was being too hard on them and that I should let them stay. I am having a hard time with 2 small children, the loss of my wife and 2 teen assholes without having my in-laws pile on to make my life more difficult. So I did. I also packed up their stuff. Instead of coming back for them, I dropped off their stuff at their grandparents' house. I have 2 kids under 5 to take care of. I don't really have time to baby 2 teens that are just making my life harder. My house is clean for the first time in weeks. My kids are sleeping through the night. My step-kids living with their uncle in the same city as me so they can finish high school with their friends. Everyone on their dad's side is against me. I really don't care. I was told by both of them and by their father that I am not to try and parent them. So I'm not. I actually do not have any parental rights over them. Their dad was not even okay with me being a contact for them at school, so his parents bear the contact. My wife left behind a small life insurance policy which I will divide between the 4 kids. But I was the breadwinner in my house. I bought pretty much everything there for the last 8 years. So now it's all mine. My in-laws are calling me an asshole for abandoning the kids, but I have 2 kids that need me more. The older 2 have a dad as well as grandparents to help them. My kids do too, I guess, but they also have me and I want them to have a peaceful home. Am I the asshole for not wanting to parent my husband's adult children who are my age? Let me start by addressing the age gap. I was in my 30s when I met my husband, and as I don't want kids of my own or to be a parent, I liked that his kids were grown and that he wouldn't want any more. I pursued him. There was no grooming situation here. We've been together 8 years. He has 2 kids from his first marriage that are roughly 35 and 40. Occasionally they would ask for money here and there and he always gave it to them. Sometimes it would be paid back, sometimes not. Personally, I believe that the way to help them is by saying no, so they can figure out their own finances, and have told him this on many occasions, but it's not my business to tell him how to parent his kids. Over the past couple of years, things have gotten out of control, particularly with the younger one. They have a baby now, so obviously expenses have risen. Asking for money is monthly and has clearly become the solution to money problems. Their mom also recently received an inheritance, so now they think she's a cash cow. She has confided that the younger kid owes her over $10,000. I have not totaled what we are owed. The asks are generally between $100 to $500 per month, and I'm sure that it's more than my husband lets on. Tonight he wanted to have them over for dinner, and to see the grandbaby, to talk about their finances and what they're going to do. New jobs? Move to a cheaper part of town? Figure out why they are asking for money every single month and what to do about it. This is too much parenting for me to be involved in, and I let my husband know that. I would make plans to be elsewhere so as not to be in the uncomfortable situation of acting as a parent to people who are practically my own age. He said that it was fine and that he would go by himself to the store. I asked him to wait for me and that I would go with him, because there is no money in his account. He just gave them $150 each, and we could use my card. Then he got upset and said, "You're not part of this." Which, yeah, I'm not going to parent your adult children, but I can supply the food for you to make them dinner. I grabbed my coat and was ready to go, and he was still upset and no longer wanted to have them over at all, and texted them to cancel and told them he didn't have enough money to make them dinner. Now he's complaining that he thought we were a team, and that I can do whatever I wanted to do tonight. I haven't made plans yet because it all happened so fast. He's acting like I ruined his plans with his kids. I love my husband and we have a great relationship. We are a team. I just don't feel like I should be involved with parenting his kids. We're so close in age it makes me extremely uncomfortable. It's not my place. I did not raise them, so I'm not sure why I should be expected to start doing so now. So am I the asshole?